Hello, welcome at Nature Guided. Today with I healed my nervous system in 14 years with nature. Yeah, and here is how it began. It just started when I dove down into the ocean of the Caribbean. And that was the moment where I was just with me. Because what happens is underwater, all the noise just stops. All the distraction, all the voices, all the noises from other things around you, you don't hear anymore. You are just surrounded by water and nothing else. And so it goes. So what happens that I was just with me and just myself. It was first unsettling, to be honest, but then after a while, I could feel this amazing change within. For sure, for the first time ever in my life, I definitely saw myself out of the sudden. Not in the way of viewing myself, but just feeling myself, perceiving myself, seeing myself through perception truly. And how this experience became the beginning of my truly free life, independently from relationships, from employments and any similar things in life, and how this or what this have to do with the nervous system, I'm going to tell you in this video today, and also how you can make this free, independent life happen for yourself, even without you having to go to dive into the ocean. This I'm going to tell you here in this video today as well. So stay tuned and you will get to know. Yeah, I'm Marianne Böhm, and in my work I am guiding mostly high perceiving men and women on their way out of the inner freeze and clarity, or this feeling of stuck, into a self-determined, self-directed, free life where they completely can create that daily life that they're longing so much for right now, and where they don't know how to get there anytime soon or ever even. Nature was my guide, always has been that way. When I was little, I would be outside in the nature. When there was some stress at home, I would be outside in the fields, listening to the wind, watch the animals, the wildlife, and just, connect with the sounds of nature without the noise back home or elsewhere. I had a little bit of a chaotic background, so the nature around my home was my resource. And this is how I cultivated my senses from early childhood on. And also there was the calling already, the inner calling of the ocean. I was always imagining that the sea is right there, and I was sitting right at the sea on the beach and hear the waves rolling onto the beach and back. By then, my outdoor nature was my resource, and with time, this has changed a little bit, so that nature today for me is an inwardly event that I've cultivated and found here the actual resource. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in a bit. I was out there with all the wildlife, with the animals, and recharging myself. And back then, because that was the reason, back then until the far adulthood, much later, I can say my nervous system was pretty dysregulated. From all the noise back home, from all the musts, etc., etc. There's a lot of reasons for that. And you might maybe recognize something here for yourself, and why you're in certain circumstances right now, such as rushing every day and having no time for yourself. There you might find the reasons for. How does actually the nervous system feel, or how does it feel for you when it is dysregulated? So how can you actually know? I'll let you know how it was for me. I felt for a long time like an empty skin, just filled with fog, and being in fog in the outside in a way. So I perceived myself, there was nothing. I just perceived a skin, truly. And there was this total unclarity, not knowing any direction for myself or for my life, or why would I do what and why would I choose this and not that, etc. I had to ask others all the time because there was no reference for me, not at all. I was disconnected from myself. And this is happening for us, for people, when their nervous system is very dysregulated from too much, too harsh impact in a long time. I was without clear direction, and I felt either numb or dull in a way, right? So my way was more fighting forward, fighting for control. I had to fight for having control at some way. I suppressed fear. There was not even fear present, more the peaks and downs, right? I wasn't aware of a lot of fear. And I was pretty aware of a lot of anger. So I had more the anger situation. And then on the other hand, on the other end, let's say, if or when I had joy for some reason and I would celebrate this joy, then another harsh reaction came from the outside, devalued and criticized this joy. So again, there was a disconnection from my inner guidance, because joy gives you guidance, right? And a lot more. So this is how I learned adaptation very early. And adaptation happens when your nervous system is being dysregulated from the outside. So you somehow, or your system finds somehow ways to deal with that, to cope with the situation, because it makes sure that you survive in such a situation. So it was driving by survival, fear of rejection a lot, and fear of not belonging a lot, of exclusion and loneliness, resulting from all the counter reactions from the outside. So why is nature so important here? Nature is the only place without expectations. Nature is just there. You can being, and I was doing is just being myself in silence, being in self-contact, just feeling yourself, settling things down within, processing, integrating stress, and receiving inspiration. This is a big one I experienced a lot in nature. Nature gives you lots of downloads, meaning guidance for your life. And I was regaining a lot of strength here. I was recharging always and gathering myself, and then returning, just to be able to returning into the battle back home. So the first moment of real life outside, meaning where I really felt myself, was indeed the underwater moment, where I really could feel suddenly myself truly. And the fog inside of me and outside was gone. Gone. I was me, and I was endlessly me in an endless, infinite environment of the sea. I was expanse. True expanse. There was no boundaries. There was just me and the allowance of me. So, and this moment of being expanse, this was the key to everything. And so that you can have this experience even without going to dive or without having to go to dive, I brought you here as attachment to this video in the description. You can click there and register and download it for free and experience this for yourself and integrate it so that this is also for you the gate to your free life, the path into your independent life from employers, from relationships that are draining you, etc. Whatever is there you want to change. This is the entry and you can find it under the video. So I was in expanse and I discovered underwater my essence, my being, my true self. This happened over the years underwater. Through my deepest joy, that's another entry door, deepest joy and inspiration. Through being one with life underwater, because there is no judgment. That's one key. There is no classification. There is no suppression or fighting going on. You are just being one with the water and juggling yourself through the element, but not juggling in a negative way, but more swinging and vibrating with the element. So I continued that for a long time because this was just the best thing that could happen to me, because intuition took over in my life, and this happened underwater. I was starting to feel my inner guidance, following it, allowing it, trusting it, because I knew, hey, this is me. Nobody else here telling me what to do. And I was playing with it, enjoying it, unfolding myself. What I did, I was deepening the process in the water or without water, being just in nature, in the rainforest, alone, on long walks outdoors, to allow my nervous system to reorganize without even knowing that this is happening. But I started to reorganize myself in nature. That was my beginning, my entry door. And the first state of being was this expanse, this infinite expanse, and this step-by-step discharge that I learned along the way. I learned how to do this. I learned how to reorganize, how to recalibrate my nervous system. Not just regulate, just going deeper, recalibrate, solve the blocks, all the emotional blocks that are blocking your daily life today that hold you back. I dissolved them step by step, layer by layer. Freed myself more and more from that. It was work. It was surgically precise work, and it is. And it gets more precise with time because it's a training of your body system when you do this. So what I did it again and again and deeper, and it went finer and finer and more subtle even. And nature, my own nature within, led my direction. Let me feel the direction. So that means also here, if just in case you're wondering how long this takes, I call it healing or becoming. This is not an event. This is a process. This is a long-term process. This is a becoming process. You choose because you just know you have to go, you want to go this way. And then you are unfolding yourself on this path. You're digging up, you're sorting, you're integrating. This is a process you want to do because you want to know what's the outcome. Of course, I had setbacks, I had doubts, phases of no visible progress, I thought, because by then I didn't know my nervous system that well yet. But today I know every tiny step, every little moment is a progress. So this is how I learned my nervous system, and this is what, this is actually the mindset you need, that you learn your own nervous system. Because what is the nervous system? It's your operating system. That system is the system you operate your life with. So you want to know how to steer your system, isn't it? You want to. So this is what I did over the years, 14 years and even longer. I'm continuing this every day. Learning to operate your body system is the key to abundance, fulfillment, success, freedom, everything, whatever you are longing for. This is about understanding your inner guidance and its nuances. Learning to lead myself. This is what I did. Why nature directly regulates or influences your nervous system. Nature speaks a language, and this language is older than language, our language. Your nervous system, which is nature, reacts on sounds, for example, because it's not built in offices. It's not built in the Silicon Valley like other operation systems, okay? Nature is built, or the nervous system is built by nature. And when you realize how old human beings are, this species, then you know where nature, or where your natural nervous system is coming from what days. Your nervous system is not made for constant availability, for constant screen consumption, online, internet, work on the screen, all this. This is all stress, constant stress. Your nervous system reacts on the sound of water, for example, or on the light, irregular light shining on water or on the trees, where you think, oh my God, the tree looks so beautiful in the rain. Or it reacts on the rhythm of wind, where you feel the wind, or the smell of earth after rain. And these signals tell your system there is no danger here. You can let go now. This is why your nervous system relaxes in nature, because it is an original environment, the natural environment. You might have heard about the polyvagal theory from Stephen Porges. Many people think we have like two main states of being, stress and relaxation. So that is not the case. We have three main states of being. And this is first of being safe and connected, where you are open and present, where you can laugh, where you can speak, where you are feeling alive, where you are just being yourself and creative, and all this, everything is in a flow, right? And then there is this second one, the fight and flight state of being, where everything is tense. Your body detects the danger. Your adrenaline goes up. There is tension. And there's control. You're in need of control and functioning. And for you, this is a situation of life-saving, or a short-term life-saving situation, right? And it's becoming destructive when you are staying in the state of being in the long term. And most people are. And you might know the symptoms of that state of being already for a long time. So if you're wondering what's the third state of being, that's the next step. This is collapse and freeze. This is when the body experiences too much and the system just shuts down in a way. It goes in numbness, it goes in dissociation, it goes in emptiness or exhaustion. That's the deepest survival mode you can be in. And here's the truth. Many or most people, I would say, in the Western world are stuck between the number 2 state of being and the number 3. And they forgot the state of being number 1. Imagine this. Where are you right now? In what state of being? Let's post a comment here and share. So nature regulates through 3 channels, and that's good to know for you to take away here today. In silence, which is not the absence of noise or sound, but it's the absence of artificial noise. Anything around you from machines or cars or anything that is not natural is already disturbing for your nervous system. When the nervous system relaxes in silence, that means there is no longer a filter needed. Artificial noise, it has to filter all the time, and that is stressful for the body. So, and then there's rhythm. That's the next one, the next channel. Rhythm, like waves, like wind, like bird song. If you might have noticed that birds sing in a certain rhythm, also in their melodies, there's a natural order. This is how nature operates. And what's happened, and you can focus on that next time, your breathing adapts to that rhythm. Your system calms down and is adapting to the rhythm you're currently listening or perceiving. So the rhythm co-regulates your system from the outside to the inside. And the next is the sensory input. And we all know this. When you are on the beach and put your feet in the sand, in the warm sand, how beautiful it feels. Or in the water, right? Or you like the cold on the skin in winter. Or the smell of the wood in the forest. You smell like pine trees or cypress trees or whatever trees, or just the cold air. And then the body arrives in the present. And this is what Eckhart Tolle talks about, the power of now. You achieve this immediately in nature. When you dive in to a forest or to the ocean, you are in that state of being automatically. And here in the present, if you check, there is no threat. Is it? That tells you a lot about your inner stress. So where I was coming from, remember the inner fogginess, the empty skin, just in fog and with fog, with an essence that was not tangible, no inner guidance, no inner wisdom, no power to execute on my own. And I traveled the world in the past 17 years. So you can imagine how my journey changed, how my life has changed. So everything was functional for me. I was exhausted. Everything was trained more or less. Everything that I had to do was performed, was a trained performance so that I can even stay in jobs for a while. And I never could stay long. My system was overload all the time. So the difference between functioning and the aligned action is pretty clear. An inner strain in action is always functioning. And the feeling and the letting it flow from within is alignment. And you might feel already the difference. Where is more flow? Where is more ease? What is more natural? Yeah, and this is what I came to through my journey through water worldwide. And so I came to my actual identity, although an identity is a role as well. But when you just take your real identity, use it as model for your true being, because you have a name, you have an idea how you want to live and all that, and how you achieve that. So you have some kind of identity which is as close as possible to your true being. You could just go with that identity and feel that this is just not a role you are playing. So that's a difference already. That means this identity that I achieved as well came from acting contact with my essence and acting for this essence within this contact, because it was aligned. I was aligned with this essence, with the being. And this is what you also learn to differentiate when you learn to execute your actions from your core and not from other opinions or how things have to be in a way, right? When you learn the opposite, the real way, the natural way, nature guided, you learn what is the voice of the ego and what is the voice of your true being, and follow the true being. And this is when life turns around. This is when freedom kicks in, let's say. It unfolds naturally within you. So you hopefully can take a lot out of it here today. But this maybe as well, take nature not as just an escape. It's a journey, because nature is you. You are nature. It's not something you jump out of the building, go in the park, have deep breath and jump back into the building. That's not what I mean here. It's a path you choose. You want to live nature guided and unfold your true life from within, or not, right? So nature, living a natural life, it's a relationship with yourself, with the environment, with others in a true way. It's support at any time. You are never lost anymore. You always have your consultant within. Your stress is down. When you walk that path and you learn how to discharge your nervous system, how to recalibrate your nervous system, how to free your body system from all the old patterns, freedom is automatically growing from second number 1 on, rising each time. And this is when or how you create yourself a free life on every level. So it's about learning to uncover your own nature and live it. And it's small steps. You will learn, especially when you are right now in a situation where you dream of this free, self-employed and entrepreneurial life where your business works for you and not you for the business, but you're employed right now and you have no idea how to make that big leap in the future. Then in this journey that I'm talking about here, you will appreciate the value of the small steps, because you're discovering that every move towards your goal is progress already in that very moment. I remember I had this moment in the rainforest where I was so connected with me and this magical environment in the tropics that this nature presented me suddenly a reality of my future that did not actually happen yet in my life, but I knew this is my direction. Wow. This was the high energy, high frequency. I was taking a quantum leap into my own future right in nature because of this, connecting play with the elements in this energy. So, and your system, your nervous system can do the same. It can change. This is what you can learn. You can learn how to train your body, how to lead your body, and how to follow the lead of your body in order to become a free, independent person, in order to be able to create a free, independent life. And the first step is expanse. Just go to the link under the video and subscribe on the site and download it for free. And then let me know how it worked for you and what you experienced if you want to. And also subscribe to the channel to get more input on that. I see you the next time. Bye.